What a freaking picture. Sinners is just better than most films. It has gangsters, it has vampires, and it has mouth spitting. What more could you ask for? This movie is written and directed by this madman, Ryan Coogler. You can just feel him pouring his heart and soul and blood, there's a vampire reference for you, into every frame of celluloid. And as we all know, this man loves film. Go check out his video gushing all over film if you haven't already. Michael B. Jordan and his twin brother Michael A. Jordan lead this incredible cast. MBJ has so much charisma in this film it's falling out his ears. Okay, let me gush over some of my favorite things in this film and why it's simply better than most. It's so horny! Okay, I'll calm down. But it really is so horned up. There's so much shagging in this picture. Let's talk about the characters real quick. They are just so rich. The thing I find most impressive is how quickly Coogler is able to make the characters in this film interesting. Think about it. Side characters in movies always get shafted and never feel as vibrant as they do in this film. And it's done with just one scene almost every time. It definitely helps that the characters have a history with the Smokestack twins, but it doesn't necessarily guarantee this character depth. Let's look at some of the character introductions quickly, starting with Cornbread. Stack is rude but playful with him.
Man, fuck your quarter.
Even going as far as bad-mouthing his wife just after Cornbread asks him to show some respect.
Right here now. I'm gonna need you to show some respect.
Yeah, well, fuck your wife too.
It even makes the wife more interesting when she's the one asking about how much money he's paying. You don't see this type of interaction in most films.
Well, how much money are you talking about paying him?
Oh, that's a good woman.
Let's check out Delta Slim. My favorite part of this interaction is that Delta Slim declines Stack's offer to play the juke joint when the offer is just for money.
Mess is gonna be there another 10 years after that, at least.
But when Stack pulls out a rare alcoholic beverage, he's pretty much immediately down to play. Again, just by this one decision, it tells us so much about Delta Slim.
Ooh. What you got there, boy?
And following his introduction, we get Mary, immediately in conflict with Stack and putting him on his heels for the first time in the movie. This shows us the power Mary has with him because we haven't seen him like that before. Also, she talks about him licking her lady bits, and that's just, very memorable. I can't go through everyone's introductions because I want to talk about other things that I think make this film better, but you get the idea. Everyone gets a great introduction, and that's just the beginning to writing great characters. So there are a lot of ideas going on in this film, but on a personal level, my favorite is the one that comes from Preacher Boy. As a person who is pursuing a career in film, I'd love to write and direct one day. Check out my short films on this channel, like and subscribe to support me and whatnot. The scenes with Preacher Boy and his father trying to discourage him to stop playing music really resonated with me. I'm from the Midwest, and I'm sure most people from there can agree that when you have a desire to pursue an outrageous dream, you're going to have a lot of doubters. And you just have to ignore them because you love the thing you're passionate about. Sammy with his guitar playing, me with my filmmaking. And I'm happy that decades later, he was still playing his guitar. Okay, my next gushing needs to go to Jack O'Connell's performance. What a little freak boy. He's almost putting on this charm that makes you feel just enough uneasy. He's basically never doing the villain, angry, intimidation, bad guy thing you see in a lot of films. It's almost like he's attempting to be likable, but there's just something deep down that makes him unsettling. And Coogler is famously great at writing somewhat sympathetic villains, and continues with that streak here. I mean, Remick doesn't even want to kill them. He wants to give them eternal life, and to join the group where it seems to be just a bunch of joy and happiness. I don't know about you, but if my brother got bit and joined this vampire cult, I could probably be swayed into joining. Who am I kidding? Eternal life? That's all I need to hear. If anyone has any vampires' contact information, please leave it down in the comments below. Here's a little fun fact for you. Something I learned while watching a bunch of interviews Coogler did for this film is that the original opening to the film in the script was this film here, Remick's introduction. Currently, this scene is 41 minutes into the film. One of my favorite things about this film is its structure. Besides the quick teases in the opening when Sammy walks into the church, there's really no indication that it's even a horror film, or if the film is even going to have a villain until minute 41. I'm obsessed with this choice. Can you imagine how different the movie would feel if it opened with Remnick's introduction? If I had to venture a guess, a couple things might happen. I could see a world where, because he's introduced so early, then all the lovely character introductions that I've just talked about would have to be reduced, because it would feel weird to get Remnick in minute 1 and then not again for like 45 minutes. My other guess would be that if they didn't reduce the character introductions, then the film would feel like a bit of a slog as we wait for the villain to finally show back up. Choosing to structure the film this way, it now gives us the time we need to get to know the characters so that we care when shit starts hitting the fan. It was a bold choice, but it definitely paid off. Speaking of bold choices, now I finally got to talk about the scene, the one that made me levitate out of my chair when I saw it in the cinema, the Dancing Through the Ages scene. I'm not kidding when I say my soul soared 3 feet in the air when the scene was going on. Not only is it just simply an incredibly bold choice, but it fits the moment narratively. We have a character, Sammy, who's incredibly gifted at playing music. One way you could show that is to have him play the music and then cut to people in the audience watching him in awe. Boring! Seen it! Fuck off! And that choice isn't great because then if you don't find the music impressive, then you don't get why everyone is watching him in awe as this guy's playing the music. Therefore, it makes you like the film a little less. What you can do is freaking break the freaking fabric of reality and start having different generations of musicians and dancers show up in the joint and start busting a move to the tunes. That's showing the magical ability Sammy's music has. It's simply a great idea, but then Coogler executes it in a baller move by making it a oneer, then lighting the freaking joint on fire and showing Remnick and his homies out there watching the people dance. This scene is just the freaking best. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this bad boy up now. Real quick, I just want to throw out some props to the makeup department. The blood looks great in this. Throwing another props over to the cinematography. My God, this film looks incredible. And one final prop over to the music. This thing, after all, is a gangster horror vampire musical. I especially love the more horror-heavy cues with the electric guitar. I guess that's the instrument. And the choir coming in. Sorry to the musicians, I know I'm not talking about it accurately, but it doesn't diminish my love for it. Coogler's restraint to not overplay that horror cue is commendable. I would have been throwing that bad boy out there every 14 seconds because it's so damn cool. Anyway, this movie freaking rocks. Hope you enjoyed the video. Comment what your favorite parts of the film were. I'd love to hear what resonated with other people. I'm excited for Coogler's future films. And subscribe and all that goodness. There will be more movie gushing coming your way. Bye-bye.